Hi, what's going on, guys? We're back working on the HEMI swap Jeep Renegade. In this part of the build, we're going to be jumping onto the interior a little bit. And no, it's not running yet, so I know you're asking, why are we worried about the interior? But it's kind of a little order of operations. You got to trust the process. I got to put a roll cage in this thing, and in order to put a roll cage in, I got to put the headliner back in here. And if I'm putting the headliner in, figure I might as well throw in a little Starlight kit, LED fiber optic light set, because I can't leave anything alone. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump on into it. All right, let's take a look. One can down. It says to do one coat at a time. Definitely don't want to overdo it. Trying to follow the rules as much as possible. You can see here, a few spots they're still kind of fuzzy where I didn't get all the foam backing all the way off. So I think once this dries, it says to let this dry or cure for an hour and then come back and respray it. So hopefully I'll get, I'll definitely get a better texture, a little more even finish. Oh yeah, you can see super blotchy right there. Yeah, get side profile. Yeah, you can see that foam sticking up pretty good. So definitely should have done a better job. I went over this thing a couple times, but yeah, you can still see it. It's all over. But hopefully after this first coat, second coat's going to go down much smoother, much more even, uniform coat. It's the headliner. Not a whole lot of people are going to be looking up with everything else that's going on with it. So, it is what it is. Definitely going to be a little better than what it was with the just the stock gray fabric. But, yeah, that's got to fit in there. No, don't touch it. So, yeah, give that another hour and we'll respray it. All right, so the headliner has been sprayed, bed lined, looking pretty good. Nice, smooth, consistent texture, pretty solid. I just really like the way it looks. Much better than the fabric. I kept having issues with the fabric separating in the corners here. Way too much contours. All these pockets here, it was popping out of there. I'm not good at it, so I figured spray it. Won't have to worry about it. Still a few inconsistencies. Few little spots here and there, like that guy and that right there. But I figure once it's installed with all the lights in there, you won't see anything. Plus, not gonna be looking up too much, but figure wanted to make it look good just in case. But so I guess we'll go ahead, flip this thing upside down, and start dropping the lights in. So all 900 of the fiber optics have been installed, and this thing took forever. Yeah, you can see each section, 8 sections here, each one took about an hour to get done, and there's 56 of each color. I mean, there's 2 separate bundles, so I just color coded it green, red, just so I wouldn't get confused. So in case there was any issue, one side wasn't overloaded or anything. You can see here, 2 separate bundles, $4.50 in each. Now I'm ready to start gluing everything in place. Went ahead, picked up a little hot glue gun from Harbor Freight, but I ordered some black glue sticks. I figured I was gonna get lost in here using clear glue, wouldn't be able to see which ones have been glued in place. Figured black, that'll help us sort it out. That way I'll be able to see, you know, which ones have been glued, which ones have not. But I guess I just got to jump into it. This is, oh, and there's also some spares. I think there's like 19 spares, so the bundles weren't exactly, you know, $4.50, but close enough. So if there are any issues, any breakages, anything like that, I do have some spares just in case. And if there's no issues, no breakages, I'll just stab those in wherever. There's a few light spots, you know, kind of round in there. A few spots that are kind of missing some, but it's hard to tell just how many until you get down to the side. Now you can see just how much is in there. But anyway, guess we'll go ahead, set the camera down, and start gluing them in place. All right, so everything is glued in place. It seems to be working out all right. One thing I did run into as I was putting the hot glue gun, all the fiber optics started to kind of melt and lean over. But it doesn't look like it's going to be too big of an issue. I did test it to make sure light still comes out of the ends. There's no issue with that point right there. The fiber optic is just bent. Plus, it's going to be sealed in with the black hot glue, so if there is any issue, it's still going to come out right there at the tip. But it didn't take nearly as long as I thought. It was just over an hour, considering each one of these took, well, the whole thing, 8 hours of solid work to put all the fiber optics in. So not too bad. I was kind of putting this off, dreading it and whatnot, because I figured it was going to be a bunch more time, but really wasn't that bad. I found about 10 spots where I had not put a fiber optic through. So I went ahead and just pulled those through while I was gluing everything in place. Still have 9 spares. So I got them bundled right here. Once I do, probably gonna flip this up, lean it up against the garage door, and hook the lights up to it, and then start cutting all the fiber short, just so I'll be able to get a better look. You know, there's some obvious areas that look kind of open, but you know, right there, that's a huge spot. I should probably just go ahead and put one there anyway while the glue gun's still hot. But anyway, I think missed that one too. Okay, so I got a couple things where, yeah, it's kind of overwhelming. There's so much going on that you just kind of lose focus of what you're doing. I guess I'll go ahead, take care of those couple points, and then get it set up against the wall, start trimming everything. Right, so we got the headliner installed and it's looking pretty good. Can't even tell that there's lights in there. I do like the texture of the bedline finish. Still got some imperfections here and there. Oh well, it is what it is. So I got the controller mounted up, temporary, just, well, not even mounted, just sitting here. Got it wired up to temporary power on an extension cord. Don't have it wired up to the battery yet. I'm leaving all that disconnected for now, but it's looking pretty good. I guess we'll go ahead, close all these doors up, get a little dark in here, see what it looks like with the lights on. Got the garage door shut, lights turned down low. It's kind of dark in there. Step inside, see what it looks like. I don't have a seat, but I do have a Harbor Freight stool, so that's good enough. Right. It sits a little high. All right. Oh no. Oh, this might be too much. But it's just right. Yeah, it totally fits the build. Everything on this thing's over the top. So might as well. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I got the green lights. So yeah, RGB, color change. This is ridiculous. No reason for this, but I figured if I'm putting the headliner back in, might as well go all out with it. Put some LED lights in there and, you know, just push this thing over the top. But there's no reason for this, but it fits the build just right. Everything about this thing is over the top, so I figured the headliner, might as well. But this thing took way longer than I expected, and I'm just glad it's over with. Now I can move on to the actual fabrication and getting this thing up and running. Next up, I got to bolt a seat in here. You can see I'm just sitting on a stool right now. After the seat's in, I can put the roll cage in. So I can't put the roll cage in until the seat's in. you know, so I can take some measurements, figure out how far back the harness bar goes and everything. And I couldn't put the roll cage in until I got the headliner in, see how much clearance I had. Plus the headliner has to be in before I bolt the roll cage in. So it's kind of order of operations. I have to get one thing done before I do the next. But, oh, I'm super happy with this. The whole time it didn't feel like it was going to be worth it. But now that it's done, yeah, I'm glad I went through with this. It's ridiculous, over the top, no need for it, but that's how I like it. Anyway, thank y'all for following along with the build so far. I'll see you in the next one.